What if the person living next door wasn't just a friendly neighbor, but a calculated predator hiding in plain sight? This is the true story of a man who stalked young women for years, murdered without remorse, and nearly escaped justice, even as a Hollywood star unknowingly stood just feet from one of his crime scenes. Michael Gargiulo grew up in Illinois, where friends later described him as quiet but obsessive, especially toward women. At just 17 years old, that obsession turned deadly. In 1993, 18-year-old Trisha Pacaccio was found stabbed to death outside her family home. She had been attacked in a blitz-style assault, stabbed repeatedly on her own doorstep. The case went cold, leaving her family without answers for decades. Years later, Gargiulo moved to Los Angeles, chasing dreams of acting and modeling. When that failed, he found work as an air conditioning repairman, a job that gave him access to apartment buildings and private homes. Behind the appearance of an ordinary life, a dangerous pattern was beginning to form. In February of 2001, 22-year-old Ashley Ellerin was getting ready for a night out. She had plans to go on a date with actor Ashton Kutcher. But earlier that evening, Michael Gargiulo had already made his move. After stalking Ashley and learning her routine, he broke into her apartment and attacked her, stabbing her 47 times in a brutal and frenzied assault. Later that night, Ashton Kutcher arrived at Ashley's home to pick her up. When she didn't answer the door, he looked through a window and noticed a red substance on the floor. Believing it was spilled wine and thinking she had stood him up, he left. What he didn't know was that he had been looking at blood. The next morning, Ashley's roommate discovered her body. Police quickly ruled out Kutcher and searched for other suspects, but once again, the case stalled. There wasn't enough evidence to make an arrest, and the killer remained free. 4 years later, in 2005, another woman was found dead. 32-year-old Maria Bruno was discovered stabbed 17 times inside her apartment. Investigators found something unusual at the scene, a disposable shoe cover, the kind often used by repairmen. It contained Maria's blood and DNA from an unknown male. At the time, it wasn't enough to identify the killer, and the case went cold as well. In 2008, Gargiulo attacked again, but this time his victim survived. 26-year-old Michelle Murphy fought back as he stabbed her inside her apartment. During the struggle, she kicked him, causing him to cut his arm. Gargiulo fled, leaving behind a trail of his own blood. That blood changed everything. Police were finally able to obtain a DNA profile, which matched the DNA found on the shoe cover from Maria Bruno's murder. The evidence led investigators directly to Michael Gargiulo. When police arrested him, they realized they weren't dealing with a single crime, but a pattern that stretched back more than 15 years. His DNA was eventually linked to the 1993 murder of Trisha Pacaccio in Illinois, finally solving the case that started it all. In 2019, a jury found Michael Gargiulo guilty of murdering Ashley Ellerin and Maria Bruno, and of the attempted murder of Michelle Murphy. He was sentenced to death, labeled by the media as the Hollywood Ripper and the boy-next-door killer. Years after his conviction, Gargiulo was extradited back to Illinois to face charges for his first known murder, bringing long-awaited answers to a family that had waited decades for justice. Michael Gargiulo lived among his victims, earned their trust, and attacked when they least expected it. His story is a chilling reminder that some of the most dangerous people don't look dangerous at all, and that justice, no matter how delayed, can still find its way. Subscribe for more true crime deep dives, cold cases, and criminal psychology breakdowns.